Hey guys, what's up? It's Natasha and welcome back to today's video. Today I'll be discussing 10 series that are actually on my fantasy TBR for 2023. I've mentioned some of these series in the 23 books I want to read for 2023, but also, I just thought I might add them just for showing you what is actually on my fantasy TBR. Before we get started, please remember to like the video, subscribe, and comment down below if you read any fantasy and what kind of books do you like. Maybe I can add them to next year's TBR. And let's just jump right into the video. So the first series is a series long time coming. It's a series that I've been reading for the past year, actually. I thought it was 2 years, but it's actually just a year. Anyway, and is the Kelly Armstrong's Women of the Otherworld series. I am this close to the finish line. So close. I only have, I think, about 5 more books to read in the series. Main books, not novellas. And then I'll be done with that series. So essentially what this book is about is we follow various different supernatural characters. We follow a werewolf, we follow a witch, we followed a ghost turned angel, and we also follow a half demon. And in each of these books, it's like an urban fantasy where we follow like murder mysteries and these people going through the flow of trying to solve these murder mysteries. With the werewolf one, it is usually pack related. So the killings usually happen around pack members or has werewolves involved who kill humans and they want to protect the werewolves' secrecy. For the witches, it's usually kind of the same. It's the witch's name that are being tarnished and the head witch has to go like hunt down the people and solve a murder in the process. It's quite an enjoyable urban fantasy series. I really love Kelly Armstrong's books and I could never put them down when I start reading them. If you are looking for urban fantasy and if you're looking for something funny, not with a lot of spice or anything, there's here and there, but there's not that in your face, and yeah, just overall lovable characters, I would highly recommend this series. The next one is the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. This series follows a 17-year-old girl who, when she touches things, she destroys them. She essentially kills them. And the re-establishment wants her to be their weapon, but she doesn't want to be that kind of person because it's not who she is. She hates the pain that she unleashes upon the people, and then she also has to fight between, does she want to be with this person or that person? So it's kind of like a love triangle situation going on. I've heard great things about the first 3 parts of the series. My colleague also read it and she said the last 3 was just a regurgitation of the first, so I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll make a whole vlog about it, or I'll read it separately and put it in my cruising, smashing that series. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Then the next series is the Earthbound series by April and Pike. I recently, as in last year, read Earthbound, the first book in the April and Pike series, and I didn't want to pick up the second and the third book, mainly because I just didn't feel like it. But this is essentially about an 18-year-old survivor of a plane crash, and her name is Tavia Michaels, and she's starting to see rather weird things happening around her. She's seeing glowy triangles, like iridescent triangles, and this links her to a more powerful force that is embedded in her and that she doesn't know about. To top that all off, her aunt and her uncle are actually not her aunt and her uncle. They are kind of like a resistance trying to throw over the other parts of the Earthbound clan, can you call it? And they are actually hoping Tavia is the answer to their prayers in finally bringing balance to the world. Then it is the Red Cream. This is the second time I've done that. The Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. And this is about a girl who has like dormant powers. She's not supposed to have dormant powers. The world is split between red and silver, and the red rules the silver people. Up until this girl is hailed as long lost silver princess because she has powers quite like the red people have, and now she has to bring down the red people from the inside, so she has to go into their kingdom and break down their walls and unleash her powers. It sounds quite interesting. I bought the first, like the 0.5, the novella before the Red Queen, and then I bought the Red Queen. I haven't delved further into the series because I was scared I'm not going to like it, so those are the only 2 books that I bought, but I am excited to delve into it. Then the next one is a series that I've actually, a duology actually, that I've wanted to read from last year, and it is Between the Blade and the Heart by Amanda Hocking. And this is basically about a girl who's trained Valkyrie, and she has to maintain the balance between her life. It says here between her studies, her duties as a Valkyrie, and her conflicting feelings for her ex-girlfriend. But when a beguiling stranger breaks into her home on a quest for vengeance, Malin's life becomes even more complicated as she is hunting for the rogue immortal who murdered his mother, and he thinks Malin may have information. Her loyalties are tested as she uncovers it. Wow, it's really pouring now. Her loyalties are tested as she uncovers a betrayal that unravels everything she thought she knew, and she must decide if helping the mysterious Asher get revenge is worth the risk of the world and her heart. So yeah, it sounds quite interesting. I picked it up because I like Amanda Hawking's writing. We won't talk about the Ante trilogy. But yeah, the ending wasn't too bad, it just wasn't my forte. And then the next series, I'm not going to delve deep into it because everyone knows what it's about, but it's the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and yeah, I'm just excited about it. It seems like the kind of fantasy that I'm craving. It seems high risk fantasy, you know, that kind of nail biting type of fantasy, and I've been looking for that fantasy since Throne of Glass, so I'm hoping this lives up to the expectation. Speaking of Sarah J. Maas as well, I plan to read the entire A Court of Thorns and Roses series again. Then the next one is The Immortals by Alison Knoll, and this is basically about a 16-year-old girl who was turned immortal after a heavy accident claimed the life of her sister and was it her sister that was involved? I can't remember. Either her sister passed away due to other medical issues, and she and her father and her mother were involved in an accident, and then this immortal, he comes, he gives her like this elixir of life, and now she's moving through life struggling with the fact that she's immortal, and also deciding, should she date this guy, should she date this guy, should she date this guy. It's a love square, it's not a love triangle, which yeah, it's exhausting. But I would really like to finish the series before I come to the conclusion that I don't like it, so that is probably going to be like me just sitting in one sitting and reading through because I just can't. Anyway, then the next series is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, and this is essentially about a young boy in a world full of boys where there's just noise everywhere. You hear it everywhere, no matter where you go. He hears everyone's thoughts, I'm assuming. He discovers this field where it's complete silence, and for some odd reason that's bad, and now he's on the run for his life. And I'm just like, okay, so he hears silence. I believe somewhere along the line he also finds a girl, which is, it's not good. So that is what I gather from that. And then the last series is The School for Good and Evil. I am slowly making my way through the books, but essentially this is about two girls, one who believes she's destined for the school for good and ends up in the school for evil, and the other one who believes that even though she doesn't want to be in the school, she belongs in the school for evil. And during this whole series, they try and prove that the one is good and the one is evil. I think that about sums it without giving everything away. So I'm currently heading to book 3 one other time or the other. I don't know when. That is the fantasy series that I plan to read for 2023. Hopefully I can get to all of them. Let me know down below if there are any series that you would like to read, if there are any on my list that you have read and you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in a video next week. Bye.